Welcome to Larry's Library and welcome to another Top 10 Tuesday. This time we are looking at my favorite comics of the year 1981. So 1981, what happened in 1981? A lot of stuff happened in 1981. John Hinckley Jr., obsessed with Jodie Foster, attempted to assassinate President Reagan. NASA launched the Space Shuttle Columbia for the first time ever. Three of my favorite movies of all time were box office champions in 1981. I'm talking about Terry Gilliam's Time Bandits, John Borman's Excalibur, and Steven Spielberg's Raiders of the Lost Ark. I bought Joan Jett and the Blackhearts album I Love Rock and Roll on vinyl. MTV launched for the first time ever, and their first video was the Buggles' Video Killed the Radio Star. I was there when that went live, when that channel launched. I think it was like midnight on a Saturday night or something, but that was in 1981. I was 13 years old, and these are my favorite comics of 1981. I tried to put them in order, but you know, that order could change very easily, but I think the comics would probably remain in there. They may, you know, you could argue which goes in which order, but I tried to put them in order, and we'll start with number 10. Number 10 is DC's Madame Xanadu. This was a one-shot. Look at this beautiful cover by Michael Kaluta. There's two stories in this one. One is written by Steve Englehart with beautiful pencils and inks by Marshall Rogers. And the other is written by J.M. DeMatteis with art by Brian Boland. Also great. So this is a beautiful book from cover to cover. Just awesome. Would love to have this in a big, huge format. I don't know. I doubt we'll see that unless they find some other Madame Xanadu stuff to round it out, but who knows. But I still have the single, and I loved it. Number 9 is a magazine-sized comic. This is Bizarre Adventures 27. This has a painted cover here, beautiful painted cover by Paul Gulacy. Man, as soon as I seen that, I was drawn to it. I mean, look how beautiful this is. Just gorgeous. So there are like 3 different black and white stories inside this one with the following teams. Got it in my notes here. Chris Claremont and John Buscema. Awesome. Mary Jo Duffy and George Perez. And that story has inks by the awesome Alfredo Alcala. Alfredo Alcala was a master of black and white. He did a lot of inks and a lot of pencils too for Savage Sword. And seeing him ink George Perez in black and white, wow, it's really something. I still have this magazine, and I think it's also reprinted in one of the Omnis, but I have the original magazine. I want to keep it forever. And then you got another story where Bob Layton and Mary Jo Duffy are writing with art by Dave Cockrum. Also good stuff. Number 8, I've got Defenders 98. So this issue is part of the Six-Fingered Hand storyline. And the Defenders battle all kinds of demons and stuff. Demon hordes, and oh man, it's so good. It's probably my favorite Defenders lineup. You've got like, see if I can remember them without notes, but it's like Doctor Strange, Gargoyle, Hellcat, Devil Slayer, which, if you didn't know, Devil Slayer is a character created by Rich Buckler, and he created it over on the Atlas, over in Atlas Seaboard in the 70s, and it was called Demon Hunter there. And he actually moved that character, I mean, almost exact same character, a little bit different color costume, slightly, but basically the same exact character, same origin and everything. He moved it over to Marvel after Atlas folded, and he became Devil Slayer instead of Demon Hunter. That's what he was called over at Atlas. But I digress. Anyway, yeah, look at this beautiful cover by Marshall Rogers. Just fantastic. And this one is, of course, written by J.M. DeMatteis with art by Don Perlin. And there's like 5 or 6 different inkers that cover the whole thing. But yeah, you got Man-Thing and Devil Slayer and the Son of Satan in here. Just awesome, awesome Marvel from 1981. And at number 7, I have the next issue, Defenders 99. And you got a cover here by Al Milgrom. Such an underrated artist Al Milgrom was. Nice cover. And this is more of that Six-Fingered Hand saga. And I just love this cover. And the inside is same team from last issue. So you've got J.M. DeMatteis and Don Perlin. Now at number 6, I have Defenders 100, the next issue, and this is finally the conclusion to the Six-Fingered Hand storyline. And basically these demons, this group of demons, they want to make hell on earth, and the Defenders have to stop it, obviously. A lot of guest stars in this one, as you can see. A lot of past members of the Defenders come back to help them. And yeah, it's awesome. Same team, J.M. DeMatteis, Don Perlin, another great cover by Al Milgrom. Love this. Yeah, I will never forget that double-sized 100. That was awesome. And I kept that single, even though I'm getting the omnis of this material too. So at number 5, I've got Fantastic Four 236. Now this is a 20th anniversary triple-sized issue. It's triple-sized, but it's stapled. They didn't use that awful square binding. So this is a really nice book. And of course you got John Byrne at the height of his powers. He's writing, penciling, and inking. It's awesome. I mean, look at the cover. I won't go into the story too much here, but it's a partial retelling of the origin story, and also partially based on an unused script from one of the cartoons from like 1978. So it's kind of odd how this story came about. But yeah, I loved it a lot. And I wish I still had the copy I had from back then. I've since, reobtained it, but I don't have that copy anymore. It was autographed by John Byrne. Me and my best friend, we both subscribed to the Lone Star Comic Service back then. And they had a deal with John Byrne, I guess. I don't know, but if you had it on your pull list, and I don't even think I had to pay it much extra, if any. You just had to check it or something, and get your order in ahead of time enough to get it. And John Byrne signed the cover. And yeah, that's one of the ones I lost when I let go of my original collection. So sucks, but I still have a copy of it though. Just don't have the John Byrne autograph. So yeah, this was a great one. At number 4, I've got Daredevil issue 174. And I remember this one because you've got this once-in-a-lifetime team-up of sorts between Elektra, Gladiator, and Daredevil. I mean, of course, they fight some too, but they eventually team up a little bit in this one. This has, of course, the cover, the interior art, and the writing all by Frank Miller. Yeah, I just love it. Heck, I would like that on a t-shirt. I would wear that cover on a t-shirt for sure. And that's why it's number 4. Now, at number 3, I've got one here that could have just as easily been number 1. And I debated about this for a long time. This is Iron Man 150. You got that Bob Layton shiny on the cover there. That cover is penciled by John Romita Jr. with hellacious inks by Bob Layton. I mean, look at that. Dr. Doom and Iron Man have never looked better than right here on this cover, in my opinion. This is awesomeness. The storyline's called Nightmare, and it's the conclusion to the Doom quest that started in 149 and ended here. And this is double-sized anniversary issue, and you've got Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom are stuck, are somehow transported to medieval times, and they're stuck in a world with King Arthur and all that. Morgan Le Fay is there, and of course Morgan Le Fay and Doctor Doom try to collude together, as they would, right? It's just awesome. They do a lot of fighting here, but then they eventually have to sort of work together and form this temporary truce in order to try to find a way home. They have to work together toward the end. Great stuff. Yeah, I love this one. I will never forget this issue. I still have a copy of the single, and of course, it's also in the Omni, but great stuff. This was written by, of course, David Michelinie, with art by, the interior, same as cover, John Romita Jr. Penciling, and Bob Layton inking the hell out of this. It's great. At number 2, I've got Moon Knight issue 12. Now, this is the original Moon Knight series. This cover is by Frank Miller, inked by Al Milgrom. I mean, look at this. This is stunning. Al Milgrom, I just talked about that earlier. He's such an underrated artist, and he's an underrated inker as well. The inside is written by Doug Minch, with art by Bill Sienkiewicz, of course. And man, this was a powerful storyline, The Nightmare of Morpheus. What a killer villain Morpheus was. Yeah. If you haven't read that original Moon Knight run, you should do it. Pick up the Omnis or something. It's great. But my number one favorite comic book of 1981 is Moon Knight issue 8. Look at this stunning cover by Bill Sienkiewicz. And I think he inked himself here. And he does the interior as well. And of course, it's written by Doug Mensch again. He wrote all but like maybe 2 issues of that original run. It's all Doug Mensch. This one was called Night of the Wolves. And Mark Spector, he is under the influence of some kind of hallucinogenic gas, I think, is the storyline. And he battles all these monsters and wolves and demons, or at least he thinks he is, because he's hallucinating all through this. But yeah, powerful cover and a powerful story. And that's why it is my favorite comic book from 1981. Hope you like taking a look at these. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps out. And I'll catch you next time.